This video is for any working parent who now finds themselves also parenting their kids unexpectedly. So last night we got an email from our kids' school informing us that they would not be having school today and into next week. And all of a sudden, the schedule that we rely on with the kids at the door at a certain time and us getting to work was completely disrupted. And I realize that others have already been disrupted quite a bit with this issue and many other issues, others probably coming down the pike sooner than later. And so the question is, what do? Right? You have to report to somebody else. You're part of a company, part of a team. You got to get things done. So I put some strategies together that I'd like to share with you, but I want to be clear. Number one, these strategies are for people who can work remotely. Not everybody can. And if you can't, obviously it's more complicated. You probably need to double down on domestic help. Maybe you can alternate with other parents in that case and see if you could cover for them, they could cover for you, and maybe you could sort of shift your schedule a little bit, which we'll talk about strategically anyway. But this is really for people who can work remotely. They'll be at home with their kids while their kids are not in school and have certain flexibility based off of that. And so let's talk about some strategies that could be helpful. Number one, I think it's really important for you to manage expectations with your boss and with your team members. Not everybody is disrupted the same way. Not everybody realizes your particular circumstance and the complications of it. So letting them know that you're going to be as available as you can, but that there will be times when you will be less available, or that you would like to be able to work on a slightly different schedule, or you would like to be able to do certain other things that maybe you wouldn't typically ask for because of the fact that you are on this kind of different schedule, different reality. That's going to help you. It's going to help everyone else know, excuse me, when you'll be available and in what way. And so that leads me to number two, which is to change your schedule. Sorry, hard to read sometimes when it's reversed. Change your schedule. And that is, if you can, get some work done before everybody's up in the morning. See if you can get work done late at night after everybody's kind of settled down, maybe even gone to sleep. And do your work then, even if normally that's not allowable or normally that's not ideal. In this case, it may very well be your best option. So try to get the work done when things are quietest and everybody's kind of like still in that slower mode before things really start ramping up. Number three is to ask the same for your coworkers. They may also, you may need to be in touch with them on a regular basis while you're working. You don't just work sort of in isolation. You need to bounce ideas, share things, have meetings, etc. See if they'd be willing, even if they don't have kids at home, see if they'd be willing to adjust their schedules so that they can best accommodate yours and allow you for the conversation, communication, availability that you need to get your work done. Number four is to tell your kids what your availability is. Let them know that you're going to be working from this time to this time and you're not available during that time. But at this time you will be available and this is what you'll be able to provide for them then. And in the meantime, they should be doing X, Y, or Z. Obviously, if you're dealing with little kids, you may not have that option. Maybe if you have older kids who are watching the younger kids, you can ask them for 15, 20, 30 minutes of support, followed by mommy or daddy time while you'll take over. But in the short term, if you convey your availability, they will mentally register and they'll say, I can't bother mommy or daddy for now. I'm going to let them do their work. I'll play my game. I'll watch my video, whatever I'm going to be doing in the interim. The next one is to focus on your key tasks, which is a great productivity strategy anyway. We always want to focus on what's most important, but here more so than ever, there are certain things. We know that there are a variety of principles, the 80-20 rule and others, that indicate that 80% of our productivity, 80% of our outcomes will come from 20% of our activities. So identify, of all the things you need to do, which are the ones that will have the greatest positive impact on the business, on the team, on yourself, on your deadlines, and focus on those. And then finally, talking about focus and get those things done first. So eat that frog, as Brian Tracy might say. Make sure that the biggest, most important things, certainly the things that you will push off if you can, get done right away, get done first. Make sure that is cleared off of your plate. You'll feel really good that you accomplished that, and at the same time, it'll open up opportunity for you to accomplish other things afterwards. So again, it's a challenging situation. All of us, or many of us, are dealing with it, and I can imagine it's only going to get worse before it starts to get better. But if we can be strategic, communicate well, manage expectations, prioritize on the right activities, and make sure to get them done while you have those windows of time, whatever those look like for you, to make things happen, then hopefully we can all weather this crazy disruptive storm properly, and together continue to support one another and ensure that we can look back at this as a challenging time, but a time that we managed to get through together because we were strategic and because we had the proper focus.